G'day, I'm David. I run an exciting organisation named Feedback Organic. I'm a fifth generation farmer. I'm a first generation circular economy based urban farmer. I feel like this model we're doing is creating a new generation, one that's growing food's future by converting food waste into food. Now, what we do is we accelerate the delivery of circular urban agriculture for local communities. What does that mean? Well, what we do is we establish urban agricultural projects that divert food waste from landfill. We convert those green pastures into urban farms and convert the food waste we collect from restaurants and cafes and hotels and businesses, anything that produces food waste, and then convert it into nutrient-rich compost. And then we grow produce on those farms, get that produce back to the community, and then provide accessible, collaborative, engaging education. So I feel that the UN engages with business, at least small business like ours as well, through offering a framework that provides kind of a benchmark of where we should be contributing on all aspects of whether it's food production or just in so many alignments to many of the SDGs with our model. But with responsible consumption and production, there are just a gazillion different ways that a business around food production and horticulture and food waste, you can really see how it aligns. And I think that element provides us credibility in kind of more on the point of local approaches to global solutions or global needed change. And that's what the UN goals or the UN SDGs are actually all about. So I feel like the private sector within the global kind of economy that is anything that's to do that is focused on around food production and food waste of our model, I feel like it benefits from, as I touched on before, as in an element of creating this framework which allows us all to think about why we're contributing to being in an economical environment, as in why are we providing a business around whatever it is the industry we're focused on. And for us and what we do around food production, it's an integral element to really consider the environment. And in the world that we operate, to produce food or manage food waste, it's also in the essence that we need to create revenue around it as well. So if you're combining both of these elements of consideration of the environment and also living in the world that we do around capitalism, we need to consider how we can produce revenue in an economically and environmentally friendly manner. That model of food waste into food, to date, in the last 4 years, we've produced over 40 tonnes of sustainable, healthy, organic food. We've diverted over 2.5 million litres of food waste from landfill that we've collected from restaurants, cafes and hotels and anything that produces food waste. We've engaged over 2,000 community volunteers known as 1 Hour Farmers. We've engaged 5 schools and been the catalyst for 3 additional urban local farms. And the scale of this and the impact of this is the fact that we've done this on 1 acre in an urban environment in the centre of the city of Newcastle in New South Wales, Australia. I think a really important way of indicating how an effective model like this works within the community is by kind of a before and after measurement of its impact. And it's that data which is actually some of the most inspiring and jaw-dropping information for other people to think about getting involved. And I say that is in the way to measure what we're doing. And I think it's that kind of data you need to really keep a track of so that you can indicate to other communities or whatever your goal is for things like this, that you need to keep a track of those measurements to be able to then say this is an effective program or think of or just considering our business as a way of other people replicating it as well. It's an incredibly important part of just any kind of projects that you bring into fruition, the measurements of it. And it's always an interesting one as well, not just the quantitative measurements, but the qualitative measurements as well. And a little bit harder to measure, as in the kind of the social benefits or the cultural benefits of models like this to impacting the broader environment. And I think to be able to indicate the effectiveness of these models in a number of different ways is really important. I think now more than ever, I think in the year 2021 that we're in right now, the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, the aim is that we'll get these done or at least actioned upon by 2030. So one of the important things that we need to consider right now is basically, if you have an idea, I think the idea is to take action.